A good evening to you all, and thank you for joining us here on Rwanda Television News tonight. Our hope is that you had yourselves a very good Thursday. Now here's a sneak peek at our edition tonight. President Paul Kagame commended Turkey as a key partner of Rwanda, particularly in infrastructure development and other sectors, highlighting the strong and growing cooperation between the two nations. Defense attachés accredited to Rwanda today visited the Mutoro Reintegration Center and listened to testimonies from FDLR ex-combats who recently surrendered themselves to Rwandan authorities. On the international scale, with the new U.S. administration pushing for a quick end to the war in Ukraine, many of the country's 3.5 million internally displaced hope to return to their homes. Many of those homes have been destroyed, and for many people. We are glad to have a company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali, and my name is Martina Abera. Let us start off by informing you that President Paul Kagame commended Turkey as a key partner of Rwanda, particularly in infrastructure development and other sectors, highlighting the strong and growing cooperation between the two nations. Adam Squizera has more on this report.
Welcome.
President Paul Kagame, who is on an official visit in Ankara, Turkey, was received by his counterpart, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, at the presidential complex in Ankara. President Kagame and his counterpart Recep Tayyip Erdogan of Turkey also held a tete-a-tete meeting before a bilateral discussion with members of both delegations, which featured a signing of Memorandum of Understanding MOUs that covers several areas of cooperation. President Kagame acknowledged the significant cooperation with Turkey in Rwanda's development.
In the area of infrastructure development, we appreciate Turkey's significant investments and support. We have had the recent renovation of Amahoro National Stadium as being one of the examples. There are many other projects in the pipeline, and here I cannot miss thanking a company from Turkey, Suma, and I'm sure I saw the lead of this company in the audience. I want to express how significant their presence has been in this development of infrastructure in our country and spreading to the region and beyond.
President Kagame also commended Turkey as a key partner in mediation efforts for peace and security, emphasizing that Turkey's commitment in this area could be helpful in resolving the ongoing regional security issues, particularly in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Mr. President, I want to commend you for your mediation efforts in various conflicts, and notably the recent commendable efforts you put into bringing Somalia and Ethiopia together. That was much appreciated, and maybe who knows, we may find your good efforts helpful in the situation obtaining in our region, especially significantly involving the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
This morning in Ankara, President Kagame and First Lady Jeannette Kagame visited the Ant Kapelle, the resting place of Turkey's founder and first president Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. Adam Squizera, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Adams, for that report. Rwandan traders import various goods from Turkey, and Turkish nationals operating in Rwanda confirmed that both sides benefit from the good relations and trade cooperation between the two countries. Enora Gladys has more.
Some of the key products Rwanda imports from Turkey include foodstuffs, machinery and construction materials, petroleum products, clothing and fertilizers. Various traders in Kigali city explain why they choose to import goods from Turkey instead of other countries. In fact, Turkey provides us with better product compared to others on the market. Personally, whenever I order items, I often leave here to bring them myself. They are reliable to the point where someone can order online. We make contact and it's easy. And the quality is good. What we agree on is exactly what I receive, just as expected. Even though the prices might be high, our clients are happy with their products because of their quality. We work with Turkey because we import raw materials that help us make paper bags and books, but especially machinery. The reason why we chose Turkey is that it is one of the countries known for its integrity and good cooperation. The way we placed our order is exactly how the items arrived, without any difficulties or delays. I would like to thank Rwanda for its partnership with foreign countries, including Turkey and others, in fostering this kind of cooperation. On the other hand, Turkey has invested in various sectors in Rwanda, including energy, construction, manufacturing, and like hotels. Turkey has also played a significant role in developing infrastructure in Rwanda, including completing the construction of the Kigali Convention Center, building BK Arena, and renovating Amahoro Stadium, all done by the company Suma. Some Turkish investors have also invested in construction materials industries, and representatives from companies that produce specialized clothing for specific sectors mentioned that security is one of the factors that led them to choose Rwanda.
When we was in Turkey, we was planning to go to Africa to start the business there. And we choose Rwanda. We checked, it is a very safe place. The business is okay. The government also helping. So we choose this country and we came now almost 7 years. We are designing, we are a decoration company. I'm an interior designer. And in people, they like our finishing. So they always be coming to giving us orders. So we finish many projects, even we are making production in Rwanda. But we are very okay in this country. It is a very safe place. The people are respectful here actually, and they like the foreigners, and they are actually helping for everything. We love Rwanda. This is my second house, I can say like that.
As Trader Group company, we're based in Rwanda for more than now 10 years. We're a Turkish company and we supply made in Turkey products. We import them from Turkey to Rwanda. The reason we chose to have our head office in Rwanda, one, it's the safety and security, and two, it's the reliability and the good collaborativeness with the government. Generally, we're here in Rwanda, but we do not focus only on the Rwandan market. We supply in Rwanda, we also supply in the region and some of the West African countries, but our head office is here in Rwanda. When it comes to the bilateral relationship with Rwanda and Turkey, we are so grateful to the good government relations because it creates a favorable environment, especially for us traders. It gives the reliability and assurance, and it brings up connection, people-to-people connection, networking between the governments and the exchanges between the people, the goods, the technologies. There is what the Turkish people can get from Rwanda, and there is what Rwandan people can also take to Turkey.
Turkey has invested in Rwanda's energy, construction, health, education, manufacturing, and hospitality sectors. The peat power plant investment is Turkey's largest investment in Rwanda. Statistics show that the value of Rwandan exports to Turkey increased from $31 million in 2019 to $178 million in 2022. By December 2024, the value of Rwandan exports to Turkey surpassed $10 million. Enra Gladys, RwandaTV News.
Defense attaches accredited to Rwanda today visited the Mutobo Integration Center and listened to testimonies from FDLR ex-combats who recently surrendered themselves on recently surrendered themselves to Rwandan authorities. The delegation was welcomed by the RDF Defense spokesperson, Brigadier General Ronald Rwanda, who also interpreted the testimonies that highlighted, among other things, the reasons behind the defections, citing disillusionment resulting from FDLR's harmful ideology as the central factor behind the defections. The ex-combatants disclosed details about the military alliances involving the FDLR, DRC forces, Burundian troops, and the Wazalendo rebel coalition. They revealed that these groups fought alongside each other with DRC leaders providing military equipment to the coalition. The Mutoba Rehabilitation and Reintegration Center serves as a crucial institution for reintegrating former combatants into Rwandan society. According to retired Major Cyprien Mudei, the center manager surrendered combatants undergo a discharge orientation program, including a 3-month civic education course. They are also equipped with practical skills to enable them to reintegrate into society. The visit aimed to enhance the defense attaché's understanding of the complexities surrounding armed groups in the area. Representatives of Germany, France, and Luxembourg in Rwanda visited projects funded by their countries in Gakenke district aimed at improving education, healthcare, and overall well-being. The delegation toured Rutaka Health Center and Karama Primary School, both located in Jaija sector, Gakenke. These projects, funded through the Pro-Poor Development Basket Project Fund under Germany Cooperation, have had a transformative impact on the local community, boosting education standards and improving healthcare services. Karama Primary School, which was part of the tour, now has 9 renovated classrooms serving 618 students. Across the district, an additional 31 classrooms were either built or renovated under the same program at a cost of 357.9 million Rwandan francs. Meanwhile, Rutaka Health Center, providing services to over 27,837 residents, was completed at a cost of 339.9 million Rwandan francs. France's ambassador to Rwanda praised the effective use of their funding, emphasizing how it has positively changed the lives of beneficiaries and reaffirmed their commitment to long-term collaboration.
To say that the aim of a visit, if you like, was to see how the funds, which are both from the German cooperation, from the French Agence Française de Développement, and from LuxDev, which is the development operator from Luxembourg, are used in the framework of this Pro-Poor Basket Fund, which is a vehicle, if you like, to implement quick impact projects which are meant to alleviate poverty. So we visited 2 places in Janja sector, in Gakenke district. One place was a primary health care center, especially with a maternity ward and with also a place for vaccination. And the second one was a primary school in Kamana, I believe. And the school, for example, the locals, the buildings were quite old, and thanks to the money, from this basket fund, they have been totally renovated. And now you can feel that the pupils have much, much better conditions for learning. Also, we could see, what they will get for food, because obviously, if you want to study, it's necessary to do it without an empty stomach. You need a full stomach, and you need, if you want to feed your mind, your brain, you have also to feed your body. And so that's why it was interesting for us, because usually, development partners who are sometimes involved in big projects with the World Bank, with African Development Bank and so on. And then the feasibility studies are quite long, and sometimes you sign a project and the results are only 5 years or even 8 years later, So these projects are much smaller, of course, but the implementation is very quick and you can feel the effect within a few months. So that's why they are so precious, because it can change the living conditions, the living standards of the people at a very high speed.
The Pro-Poor Development Basket Project Fund, launched in January 2024, focuses on health, education, transport, and environmental protection, targeting 16 rural districts across Rwanda. The first phase is set to conclude with the current fiscal year, with a total projected budget of nearly 80 billion Rwandan francs for all planned activities. Moving ahead, the Minister of Gender and Family Promotion, Uwimana Console, called on girl guides from 34 African countries attending a conference in Kigali to intensify efforts in raising and mentoring young girls, emphasizing their vital role as future mothers and leaders. The girl guides, who had spent 2 days discussing their role in governance and training the next generation of leaders, focused on empowering women and girls in their respective countries.
Right now we are in Kigali, Rwanda, running an event that is an intergenerational event focused on governance that is gathering 22 member organizations from Africa, different countries that are member of the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts, out of 34 organizations that we have in the region. We have more than 3 million Girl Guides and Girl Scouts across Africa, so it's a really meaningful and important event to start 2025. Well, the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts is going to formally celebrate 100th anniversary in 2028, and we consider as our mission is to enable girls and young women to discover their full potential, how we address the intergenerational work that has been relevant and meaningful across the countries, across the member organization within WACS, because it is a large movement. We are the largest movement dedicated to educate girls and young women, and how many generations before me and before many years ago starting this movement with the aim to educate and being a platform of not formal educations for girls, and how we continue doing that exact same work, but of course adapting to the needs of the girls. Right now, the needs of the girls when this movement starting 100 years ago were completely different. So that intergenerational conversation is about talking about what we need right now, but value our history and our legacy as a global movement.
This is where we meet the older guides as the younger guides, for them to really pass down wisdom and also understand the governance structure, because as we all know, Africa has the highest number, 77% are young people. So how are we still continuing with guiding, even as the older generation leaves it to us? And as young women, do we feel empowered to lead, to speak out, and to know that, the world is ours, and it's time for us to really take the movement to the other level and attract more young people in the movement. From an African perspective, right, we have different challenges and barriers that young women are facing that are unique to them. And for us, it's quite important for girl empowerment, for them to see themselves, one, as leaders, and also give them a voice, right? We can represent them, yes, but each and every girl should understand that they have a voice to talk about the issues that matter to them, or issues that are dear to them. So empowerment of the girl child is quite important in our Africa region, for us to now look at things from a young woman's perspective and ensure that we are creating policies around young women and girls, ensuring that we are meeting their needs and ensuring that we are actually speaking to them, becoming leaders, in which Rwanda actually is leading, not only in Africa but also in the whole world, and that is something that we really want to work towards, and enhancing their capacity to lead and to be change makers in their own communities.
Minister Uwimana Console praised Rwanda's efforts in ensuring gender equality, pointing out that girls and women in the country enjoy equal opportunities with boys and men. She also commended the role of girl guides in combating violence against girls, particularly through awareness and prevention programs.
Rwanda is proud to lead in gender equality, with women holding 63.8% of seats in parliament, a global example of what is possible when women are given equal opportunities. While we celebrate these achievements, we have also to address challenges. Africa has youth population with 60% under the age of 25, yet young women and girls often face barrier to leadership. At the same time, older generations offer wisdom and guidance to help maintain continuity. The girls' movement reminds us that bridging generation is essential to achieve shared goals and build future where girls and women thrive. Research shows that when generations work together, economies grow faster, society becomes more peaceful, and communities are stronger. The benefits make it clear. Empowering women and girls through intergenerational collaboration is not just a good policy, it's a necessity. The Girls Guides movement is a shining example of the empowerment. It equips us, young girls, with skills, leadership, and confidence we need to break barriers and create change. In Rwanda and beyond, Girls Guides are leading efforts to fight gender-based violence, promote equal opportunities, and build bridges across generations. Our culture practices, such as Umuganda and Torero, further reinforce the values of unity, mutual aid, and shared responsibilities. The workshop is an opportunity to mentor young leaders, form meaningful partnership, and share innovative ideas for Africa's future. Together with GADS and the other partners, the Ministry of Gender and Family Promotion is committed to empowering women and girls, creating strong families, and build peaceful and inclusive communities.
In her remarks, the minister urged parents who have become lenient in their parenting duties to reconsider and actively provide proper guidance, especially for girls, as they are the mothers of tomorrow. Girl Guides is a Catholic-based nonprofit organization focused on the holistic development of young girls, emphasizing faith, culture, and education. In Rwanda, the organization boasts over 25,000 members. Following the cabinet meeting held on the 17th of January 2025, which approved 14 new innovations and expanded community-based insurance services to include hip and knee replacements, orthopedic surgeons have expressed their satisfaction with their decision. William Evans Mutabazi has more.
Dr. Gwirangira Haman, the coordinator of medical services at Gatagara Hospital, Gikondo branch, told us that even though the cabinet decision provides solutions for patients, it has also empowered them as doctors to work harder. Cabinet's resolution to expand community-based insurance services to include hip and knee replacements was a good move, and we are happy with it because these are essential services and have not been covered by this scheme. It is not only a demonstration of how truly our government cares for its citizens, but also a call for us to do more for people. Dr. Gwirangira also mentioned that the cost of these services varies depending on what part of the body is being replaced, and because the materials used to make these replacements are sourced from other countries, the cost has been so high for ordinary people, and thus the service being unaffordable. The prices vary depending on what part of the body has to be replaced and the quality and type of product used. These prices are also influenced by the fact that all materials are imported into the country. For example, we have some that are 3D and cost about 2 million and more, and others go for more than this, meaning people could barely afford these services. That is why I say, as a doctor, this was a good decision. The community-based insurance, Mitwell, covers up to 92% of Rwandans, and the 14 added services are expected to be fully integrated into this scheme by June this year. William Evans, Mutabazi, RwandaTV News.
Experts in labor management have emphasized the need for the government to increase formal employment opportunities, ensuring workers have employment contracts and that employers provide health insurance coverage for their employees. Informal employment sectors such as porters, construction assistants, known as street cleaners, are areas where most workers lack formal agreements and social protection. Workers in these sectors often face occupational hazards and argue that having formal contracts and health insurance would allow them to work with peace of mind. In Kigali's commercial hub, many young people engaged in carrying goods also highlight their need for health insurance to mitigate risks associated with their work. Jean Mukunzi, a labor management expert, believes the government should expand formal employment opportunities and require employers to provide both contracts and health insurance for their workers.
Workers everywhere. We have them on the streets cleaning, we have them in our houses, we have them in the mining sector. Everywhere we have workers. The question is, do they have a cover, an insurance in case an accident happens? I say for informal jobs, it's rare to find that workers are covered. So what could be the solution? A mechanism like the universal health insurance should be, it's an obligation first, so it should cover any accident that happens to a worker anywhere he is or she is. However, we know that the reality is that many people are not covered, though it's an obligation. So I would suggest that the local authority or the central government, MIFOTRA, or local authority like the sector or the district makes it an obligation for people to be to organize themselves as cooperatives. In that sense, they could subscribe a private medical cover. This can be a solution.
The union representing informal workers in Rwanda recently reported that approximately 8,000 people across the country are engaged in informal jobs, including unregistered businesses, domestic work, cross-border trade, and other informal sectors. These workers are now looking to labor-related institutions for support in formalizing their employment and improving their working conditions. Thank you for staying with us on RTV News, and a warm welcome back to other stories making headlines on the international scene. Heading over to Ukraine, with the new U.S. administration pushing for a quick end to the war in Ukraine, many of the country's 3.5 million internally displaced hope to return to their homes. Many of those homes have been destroyed, and for many people, that means rebuilding from nothing. VOA with more.
Little Danilo is a frequent visitor to this children's center for internally displaced persons in Kyiv. He is a wartime baby born here in the Ukrainian capital. His parents and older siblings have a long story after their escape from Russian-occupied Mariupol.
We left on January 12, 2023. It was very difficult to flee because my husband was a policeman and his name was in all Russian databases. They kept us in a gym for 2 weeks while my husband was interrogated.
Anna's relatives are still in Mariupol, so she asks that her last name not be published. She arrived in Kyiv after an exhausting trip through Russia to Latvia, then through Lithuania and Poland.
When we arrived, we couldn't adapt. In Mariupol, we lived for more than 3 months without electricity, water, under heavy bombing. At first, we couldn't even communicate normally with people.
The biggest challenge is to find a place to live, says Anna. Almost all their income goes to rent. Some, like Lydia Maznichenko from the Kyiv region, could return home after Ukrainian forces retook her area, but she found her house destroyed.
Everything was broken here. The yard was flooded with slate stones, the garage and the car were burned, the roof was badly damaged, and the windows were broken. The tear from the bomb was right in the yard.
The UN Refugee Agency, together with Ukrainian nonprofits, helped rebuild these and many other homes.
Since the beginning of the full-scale invasion, we have repaired more than 37,000 homes in Ukraine, allowing people to either remain in their home or return to their home.
But the needs are much bigger. More than 2 million homes have been damaged since 2022, says Haslund. Also, IDPs have to find new jobs. The UNHCR, as well as the Ukrainian government, provide financial assistance, but only to the most vulnerable groups.
In 2022, there was no criterion for IDP state assistance. From August 2023, some of the requirements appeared and became more and more strict. Now, the number of recipients has decreased 3 times. But those who are evacuating now got payments for 6 months.
Other issues IDPs face are recovering lost documents, receiving psychological support, and adapting into new communities. The NGO Poruch, or Nearby, with the UN assistance, provides integration support for children. Anna's daughter comes here often.
Our main goal is for children to get to know each other and communicate. We have about 20 groups, from vocals and choreography to English and career guidance.
Even with the wars end potentially near, fighting is still displacing people near the front lines and adding to the 8.2 million whom the UN says have been affected by Russia's invasion. To continue helping them, UN officials are appealing for $3.32 billion this year. Lesia Bakalets, VOA News, Kyiv.
That VOA story marks the end of our bulletin. Before we close off, let's have a recap of our headlines. President Paul Kagame commended Turkey as a key partner of Rwanda, particularly in infrastructure development and other sectors, highlighting the strong and growing cooperation between the two nations. Defense attachés accredited to Rwanda today visited the Mutobo Reintegration Center and listened to testimonies from FDLR ex-combatants who recently surrendered themselves to Rwandan authorities. On the international scale, with the new U.S. administration pushing for a quick end to the war in Ukraine, many of the country's 3.5 million internally displaced hope to return to their homes. On that note, we would like to thank you for sticking with us on RwandaTV News. I who brought you the news is Martina Avera. Stay safe and have a great night.